Okay, thank you for.
I'm doing my best. I make no promises. I make no promises on how it's gonna roll, but I'm here.
No, I appreciate it. All right, we're ready. Yes, huh?
You're the boss,
All right.
so I should stop sharing.
Good, start it up. Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started with our meeting today, so let me officially open it. All right. I would like to welcome everyone here at Bounce Innovation Hub and everyone out there in Zoom land to today's Akron Rotary Club meeting. And hallelujah, we're out of February. So March the 1st here today. We have a good meeting planned together, and obviously there's a lot going on, and you'll be hearing more about that. But to officially open us with the invocation, I'd like to invite Doug Cole to come forward. Good morning.
Or afternoon.
Today is Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, the day before the first day of Lent. And maybe the word almsgiving conjures up images of Lent or fish fries or soup suppers. Maybe you even heard the term in a Monty Python movie. But you might be surprised to learn that the practice of giving alms isn't just a Lenten spiritual discipline. It is meant to be a year-round exercise, an integral part of our spiritual lives, and can be a tool that leads us to a deeper spiritual walk. Almsgiving is the act of donating to those in need or performing other acts of charity. However, when defining almsgiving, it helps to understand the meaning of the word itself. The root of the word alms can be found in ancient Latin and the Greek words that mean mercy. Similarly, the root of the word charity comes from the Latin caritas, meaning love. So charity or almsgiving is an outward sign of our love for other people. It's exemplified in the Rotary motto, service above self. If you'll pray with me. God, we're just grateful for this day, but we know that we live in a troubled world. We say prayers for all the people who can't be with us today, who aren't with us for a variety of reasons. We certainly, our prayers are with those in Ukraine. Just help us to do our little part in this world, Father, to make this community a better place. For all of us at Rotary around the world work to make this world a better place, make our communities a better place. The world cannot help but rise up with us. Amen.
Thank you, Doug. And if you would join me now, I'd like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now also our wonderful four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you, and you can be seated. Miss Karen Hurlick, what's your husband, Jeff? Jones, Hurlick Jones. Good to see you again.
We have several guests today. Steve was busy inviting folks to come, so we're glad to hear him. So Bill Seegers.
He's back there.
You guys, there's Bill. You wanna say something?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
You
gonna
go ahead and talk,
right
you can introduce us.
there. Okay. Bill is from RC Musson Rubber.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him say a little about himself.
Hello, Bill Stigers from RC Muscle Rubber Company in Akron, and thanks Steve for the invite. Steve's known me my whole life, literally, right?
Yeah. All the days of playing wiffle ball together on the beach.
Right. We also have Lee Lewis from Macro Steam.
I got to know this guy through my brother, who practically knows everybody in the city, but Lee is a great guy, a good friend of John Margita's.
Yes, I am. I was looking to see John. I saw John last night, but again, Lee Lewis with Akron Steam Carpet Hard Surface Cleaning. Actually, I've been here before, and right before COVID and stuff. So we got the invite from Steve, and thank you for having me again.
And then last, David Champion from Champion and Company.
David,
Hi, Steve. Hello, everyone. I'm back in Rotary as a guest, I guess, at the moment. I'm subject to board approval, but I was initially sponsored by John Logan. I'm sure y'all know he lives large in our memories, and I'm pleased to be able to be here and to try and carry on the tradition that he first introduced me to. Thanks.
great to have you.
Great to have you. Thank you guys. Welcome. Take over.
Well, he's not a guest, but today he's somewhat of a guest. And wanted to say officially hello to Mr. John Daly and let you say hello to everybody.
Hi, everyone. It's great to be back. I'm having a hard time remembering things, but it's great to be here. Thank you.
And he is, I think, John, are you 93 years young or are you 94 now? 94, so, and how many years as a Rotarian?
How long?
60 some years, so wow, it's great to see you, John. All right, as I make my way back up front here. Are there any visitors online that might be out there? Okay.
Nope.
Did we happen to have, hey, Michael, did we happen to have any Rotary ambassadors this last week?
Hi, Steve, it's Sandy.
I see.
I attended and presented at the district grant seminar, and two other Akron Rotarians were with me, Linda Farkas and Dan O'Connell.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Oh, Thane Biller says he was an ambassador.
They knew.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So I had the privilege of visiting with the Talmadge Club last week on Friday. They had their annual reverse raffle. I made a very nice contribution and did not win anything, but happy to support the Talmadge Club. And then small world, my next door neighbors, I think some of you know this, Dr. Sheriff Kirkett and Dr. Amanda Kirkett, they're the two immediate past presidents of the Talmadge Club, and they're my next door neighbors. So it was cool hanging out with them and getting to see them.
Thank you, Thane. Anyone else out there? Anybody in here that was an ambassador over this last week? Okay. All right, well, we're going to substitute happy dollars today. We're going to give them another name. And the name I'd like to put on them would be compassion dollars. And most of us are quite aware of what's going on in our world and what's happening overseas in the country of Ukraine and the war that started officially last Thursday, and how horrific everything is. And so today, any happy dollars that we normally would call them will be viewed and classified as compassionate dollars for men and women and children who are really severely hurting over there. Some of you may know, those who know that my wife and I and our oldest son lived in the country of Ukraine in 1995 to 96. We were doing missionary work, and we were in the city of Kharkov or Kharkiv, which is the Ukrainian pronunciation of it, which is 21 miles from the border. And currently it's been under a tremendous amount of assault. And I'm proud of how they have been holding their city. And we've got friends who fled to Poland. We have friends who have fled to Romania. We have some that have gone into Moldova. And thankfully, they're all safe. Some of our good friends have had bombs on their street. Some have gone to the countryside to stay in the countryside. Some have been staying in the subways and sleeping on the platforms. They're sleeping in the subway cars. And not since 1941 has Europe seen warfare of this magnitude. And I heard someone make a statement that not since Dunkirk has there been a civilian response of standing up and joining the ranks to fight in the war. So these are very compassionate people. The Ukrainians are really compassionate people. They're heart people, and they are strong people. And so today, as we would take our dollars, I'll start. I mean, my wife and I have already been supporting, and you'll hear a little more at the end, but I'll start with $10 on behalf of Compassion for Ukraine, and wanted to see if anybody else will join me. All right, Mr. Doug.
I guess I'll just say that my wife and I have been wondering about ways to help. And to know that there is a local connection with a group where we know the money will go means a lot to us. So we're going to contribute compassionate dollars in a somewhat large amount, and we'll send them along.
I'm gonna match your $10. God bless the people of Ukraine.
Thank you.
You're doing a fantastic job, Dan. I'm gonna add $10 for Happy Dollars for the compassion there, as well as happy to see John Daly. And one more announcement regarding March 16th and our service project with the Akron Canton Food Bank from 4:30 to 6:30, and then afterwards we're going to be going out. I'm not sure yet whether we're going to Lock 15 or I think our Shea, so one of those two. So if you'd like to join us, let me know, and we'll get you signed up. Thank you.
Yeah, I have, I'll match your $10 also. And I have an announcement to make for Michelle Wilson, who's one of our members and who is the executive director of the Global Ties Akron. Global Ties Akron has existed for 45 years. And the last 22 years, they've had a very strong relationship with Ukraine. They've had at least 20 professional visits from Ukraine to the United States. And at any rate, the Global Ties Akron is a very important nonprofit organization. They have their gala, their fundraiser, March 13th, that's a Sunday, from 5 to 8 p.m. in this very building. I think it's in this room. At any rate, you can go online to Global Ties Akron and purchase your tickets today. You'll have, it's a Wine and Dine 2022 is the name of it. Passports to Wine and Dine will be well, and you'll support a very important organization in Akron. I also want to say that we have the Rotary Exchange kids coming to camp this weekend, and we're excited because we now have 10 from the district and 3 from our club, and 4 from Rotary District 6600. Our neighbor. At any rate, I not only thank Jacinto Nunez, who's going to bring us our breakfast on Sunday morning with casseroles, and I'd like to thank Brian Pima, who's going to come out Saturday night and have games and fun things for the kids to do. Any of you are invited to come join us, see the activities we do, intercultural communication types of activities to get the kids ready to go abroad. And it's really exciting that we're sponsoring these ambassadors to go all over the world. So thank you. Sorry.
Okay. I have 20 happy dollars from Katie and I, so you can talk in a second, but I just wanted to say, I did a mission trip to Belgium quite a few years ago, and I'm still on their prayer list. But I was heartened yesterday when I got their email about how the missionary groups within Europe are all supporting each other and getting food to people across the border and stuff. So God's moving, and when there's a will, there's a way. So there's a lot of good people over there supporting each other. Also, just a plug for next week. I know it sounds boring to talk about bylaws, but I promise that Jacinto and I will make it interesting. And it is important because all of you have a vote on it 30 days after we present the bylaws. So Katie has something to say.
Making my way around, but I've got $5 happy for oh my gosh, this is my mind.
First thing to go.
Ukraine.
I'll stop here.
Well, if I had $10 in my wallet, I'd get $10, but I had 5, so I'll match 5. So thank you, Steve, for your leadership on it. It's very nice to hear.
So I'm matching my $5 happy, Steve, thank you.
There's 20 from Lee and I, and thank you again for invite for today. And I forgot you lived in Ukraine for a couple of years, so God bless. Thanks.
Jack, I didn't forget about you coming there.
Okay. All right, $20 happy for spring grain. Absolutely.
There you go, boss.
Thank you. We'll match the 10, and a good announcement too. The Portage Lakes Polar Bear Group raised $100,000 for the food bank. Wow. And that was a good thing. And the other thing is Rotary International is setting up a dedicated fund for the Ukraine. So watch the Rotary website to see how you can participate and how maybe we could codify a group of clubs in South Summit to participate.
Thanks. I think we have to go online.
Yeah, you'll have to see if we have anybody out there online. I see David Miller. So David, take it away.
Hey everyone, so I do have 5 compassion dollars. I will add that to the cause with a couple other announcements. First of all, David Hall, thank you for bringing up the March 16th event. Assuming that Lock 15 can accommodate a group at 6 p.m., because some of us will get there a little bit early. At this point, we're up to between 15 and 20 people. We're going to be looking to go to Lock 15. So I'm going to be making that reservation. If we can't do lock 15. I know that Arshay can. I'm just trying to change it up a little bit and give some love to the Cole family and you know and Doug's, I think, son-in-law, if I'm not mistaken. That being said, I will make a final announcement through the email blast to let everybody know, you know, where we are officially going. Also wanted to throw in a couple extra dollars. It seems, or as part of the 5, it seems that maybe it's fitting that John Daly is back. So I'm a proud father. Both of my kids have qualified for the YMCA League Championships in their swimming events. So my daughter had 2 relay teams as well as 2 individual events, meaning that she's in the top 30 in the division, or the league, I should say. And we're going to be at Cleveland State on Saturday at a all-day swim meet because my son also qualified in an individual event. So knowing that they're both in the top 30 in their events in swimming across the YMCA league is pretty exciting. So if you need me on Saturday, I'll be at a pool indoors, not doing anything but being there from about 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Welcome to swim family life when it comes to tournament time. But that's my announcements now. So thanks, everybody.
Sandy said she'll do 25 compassion dollars. Did you want to say anything, Sandy?
No, thanks, just adding to the cause. Thanks.
Dan O'Connell's in for 10. Dan, anything to share? Nope. Cindy Kane's 20, in for 20. And thank you for Jack for bringing John Daly in person. It's great to see him back home at Rotary. That's it.
Good, everybody. So secondly, I wanted to share a little bit more about Ukraine, and I spoke with 3 of our board members this morning. And my wife has a 501c3 called Bridge of Love. And Bridge of Love is expressly for getting monies to Ukraine. And I didn't want to mix it with the compassion dollars, which we'll put toward the district as a representation of our club. But I wanted to let you know, for those of you who want to have an impact, we have significant connections on the ground, both in Kharkov and in Kiev and down in Crimea, which was formerly part of Ukraine that had been taken over by the Russians in 2014. So we, as a family over the weekend, were able to get $1,000 into the hands of 7 families within 15 minutes. So I wanted to make you aware of that. And again, I ran this by 3 board members before I even decided to share it with you. But if you're looking to be involved and want to know where your money is going and who it is going to, we have those types of well-established connections that have been in existence for well over 25 years, and it will get into the hands of people who are desperately in need. So thank you very much. Jack, you had shared an announcement. David had shared, Dave Hall and Dave Miller had shared an announcement. Does anyone else have an announcement that they would like to make before I introduce today's speaker? Anybody out there? Oh, you'd like to welcome Malcolm Costa back. Good to see you, Malcolm. All right, well, today it is my privilege to introduce Jessica Swiger. And Jessica is with First Glance Student Center downtown Kenmore. You can come on up and I'll talk a little bit about you. But she is the executive director, and I met her probably about 4 months ago. And then a little bit, I want to say about what, 6 to 8 weeks ago, you guys had your annual event out at the Firestone Country Club. And let me just tell you a little bit about her, besides being the executive director. She's served there for over 10 years, and she's been involved in creating and operating programming for the youth in the Kenmore and Greater Akron area. She resides in Kenmore with her husband and 5 biological adoptive daughters. God bless your husband. where they value living incarnationally within the community and being well connected. And she believes that this has helped them to have a truly deep impact in Kenmore. She has immersed herself in the challenging and yet rewarding world of urban ministry. She's passionate about First Glance's mission to connect students to Christ and to love and through non-threatening avenues. She loves Akron, iced coffee, and spending time outdoors with her family and friends. So welcome, and we look forward to what you have to share with us.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it, Steve. I feel like I've known you forever and I just met you maybe a little bit ago. You were sitting in my office. Oh, sorry, I'm short.
No, you're good.
So I have a video to show you guys to start today. And with this video, you're gonna see a mom and one of our team moms, and she refers to Stacy, our staff member, as mom. So you can take it away.
I'm Jessica Swiger, and I'm the Executive Director of First Glance. First Glance's mission is to connect our students to Christ and the church through real, loving, non-threatening avenues. The Connect is a program that meets with young moms and teen moms in the community in Akron. And so all of our moms get together, they share dinner together, and then they have a group time. Their kids go down to Tiny Glancers where they receive educational help and also just have a lot of fun.
My name is Caitlin, and I've been coming to First Glance for 3 years. When my son first got here, I was just getting involved with the Connect, so I was like the new girl, but at the same time, my mom didn't treat me like the new girl. She treated me like she knew her whole life. And I had a C-section, and my son, he was medically fragile, and he had to stay in the hospital, and I was kind of like in shock because that's not something I planned for my whole pregnancy. And my mom made sure I came, like even after the C-section, she made sure everything, I was good in the hospital in his NICU room. I felt loved and I didn't feel alone.
Caitlin, Cake the Great, she has a big heart. Caitlin is very resilient. Caitlin is a lot stronger than she thinks. Caitlin is creative. She's a beast. She's been through a lot, but she's still moving in the right direction all the time.
We put all of our students in a room with loving, caring adults that love them, mentor them, and walk through life with them.
I became a student leader playing foursquare with my friends. And then she asked for like all the seniors to come in the room for student leaders. And I'm like, I'm not really interested. But she forced me. So I'm being held captive right now.
Zyron's been coming for a really long time. And he's kind of this quiet presence, but actually influences a lot of the students around. And so I saw that, I knew that at this point, he's older. And so he told me he wasn't interested, but I knew the influence that he had and just didn't understand that he had it. And so I told him, come join anyways, yes.
I would describe First Glance as fantastic because it's just all the people, the fun that we have, the games that we play, the screaming that you might hear in the background.
Every night of the week, we have a different programming happening here. And we want to invite you along to come be a part of that.
So when I first came, I was a little bit nervous, like, what are we doing here? Why are we here? I don't understand. And then I started getting the hang of it. So I really liked it and I kept going on and on. So I stayed, and there was a couple of days when I was off, but I'm here now, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Miss Warren, Miss Grace, and Miss Danielle. We do a lot of activities with them, and they get we get to get free piggyback rides, and we get to do their hair, and we get to read with them and stuff like that, and we get to color with them.
One of my favorite things about the First Glance leaders is we really have the best leaders. Our leaders are committed to our students. They don't just show up 5 to 7 on a week. They're available for the students when they call in the middle of the night. If they're struggling, they can call a leader and the leaders will be there for them. Leaders attend graduations, leaders attend funerals. They really do walk side by side with our students. I want to invite you to come out and take a tour of First Glance for yourself. We are so thankful for our First Glance family of staff, students, volunteers, prayer warriors that come alongside us and generously support the work God has called us to do in Kenmore.
Thanks for handling some of the tech difficulties. So First Glance started 21 years ago in Kenmore. Is anybody from Kenmore in this room? That's what I like to see. We are located in the Old Hibernians Club. When we first started 21 years ago, we expected 7 kids. Noel Beck and Karen Freeman expected 7 kids to show up, and 22 came the first night. Within weeks, they were over 100 of kids. And so quickly we moved into the Old Hibernians Club on Kenmore Boulevard. And now we're almost to our 10,000th different student, which is insane. The way God has just brought these kids in from the community. Our goal is to create a safe place for the kids in Kenmore and Greater Akron. When I walked in 12 years ago to First Glance, I walked into an open house and I heard all that they did, but I had no idea the impact the students and the community of Kenmore would have on my life. I came from Ashtabula, over by Cleveland, and I came down here for college. And pretty quickly, at the end of college, I realized Akron is our home for my husband and I. So my first volunteer experience wasn't typical at First Glance. Normally you submit a background check or kind of pair it up a little bit, but Noel back at the open house was like, I don't have enough volunteers for this Kalahari trip. Would you and your husband come? I'll background check you. We'll do a fast process of 1 day and you'll be thrown into this trip. So within a day, I had my background check completed and my husband and I were on an 1.5-hour car ride with 4 teenagers we had never met before. It was interesting. It was, I realized quickly the amount of heartbreak and the stories the kids would tell me of the trauma they were experiencing at home and the things that they had overcome. And I realized so quickly, they just wanted one person. They just wanted someone to listen to them. They just wanted to be heard. They wanted to be loved and valued. And so that's what we did. Now here I am 12 years later. I just took over as the executive director at First Glance. Noelle stepped into a founder's role and I stepped into her place. And it's been such a joy, but it's also been crazy. I don't know if you guys know the pandemic happened. Literally within weeks of my transition, the country shut down, which is crazy, but First Glance really just worked hard to pivot and change the way we were doing things because our students still needed us. So that looked like thousands of bags of groceries being put out. That looked like us going to their homes, hanging out outside, any way for us to continue to connect with them. And so we've changed a lot of things in the last few years, but now we're slowly coming back open in our building, bringing the students back in a safe way. So one of the things we do at First Glance is we really value our students becoming a part of our family and us becoming a part of theirs. One of our students, Miranda, I met when she was 11 years old. It was a year into First Glance. And we've watched her overcome so many obstacles. Within the first year of meeting her, I attended her dad's funeral because he overdosed. I bought her clothes because she didn't have anything to wear to school. My husband and I brought her into our home and she came and lived with us for a while. Yeah, but it wasn't just me. It was so many volunteers poured into Miranda's life and loved on her and fed her and gave her a place to stay. And we just kept encouraging her potential. Last year, one, it was amazing that she chose to follow Jesus and was baptized. And 2, she graduated from Akron. She graduated from Akron Early College. A girl that took the bus every single day to make it to her classes in downtown. was able to graduate and has an associate's. And so it wasn't that we were doing anything special. We just saw this girl and we were like, we just want to make sure that she's invested in and loved because we can see how much potential she has. And so it's encouraging to see her now working a full-time job. And we just moved her into our first apartment, which was super encouraging. But when we asked her what she liked so much about First Glance, she said, First Glance and the church have been my family. They're the ones that raised me. And it was encouraging at her graduation party. We threw this past summer, how many volunteers, over 12 volunteers showed up and had invested in Miranda's life and walked alongside of her. So moving forward with First Glance, a lot of changes have happened from COVID, but we know that we still want to be family to our students, and we know that we want to continue to reach the neighborhoods of Akron. So moving forward with the vision of First Glance, something that happened during COVID was our Launch Kenmore program, which you saw the two little ones on the couches bouncing around, and I guess that we give out free piggyback rides at First Glance, which if you want a free piggyback ride, I guess launch volunteers do that. And so we saw during the pandemic that the principal at Piper Elementary School approached us and said, our kids only come to school the days that you have programming. They don't come to school the other days. And so they asked, can you do more? And so we opened up First Glance indoors and allowed, while they were doing remote learning, for the kids to come in and do their schoolwork. But it doesn't stop there. We've had two other schools, Reimer and San Diego, approach us and say, hey, we want to be a part, we want First Glance in our buildings. We want to have our students be a part of Launch Kenmore. And so our whole goal with Launch Kenmore is just to provide them with a safe environment where they can focus on academics and spiritual and emotional wellness. And so we are now looking this next year to move into 3 different schools, which is super exciting and pretty crazy that we're going to be having even more kids. But our hope is that we continue to get these kids younger. We see it over and over again that these parents need support. Moms are having to make decisions. Am I going to go to work? Or is my kid going to go to school because I can't get my kids after school? And so we want to relieve some of that pressure for them and allow them to have after school childcare. So that is where we're going in 2022. We are wanting to expand into 3 schools. Some of you guys might know that Akron Public Schools transitioned into academies, which is where they have now a kid in Kenmore could be going to Ellet for vet school or across. So we really have First Glance is really just looking to expand our network of students. Just last Friday night, we had over 6 high schools represented at First Glance, which is pretty crazy. So we started a new program called the Alley. Our students kept telling us on Thursday nights, we have nowhere to go on the weekends. Our options are to go to stores where we can't afford anything, and then we just get in trouble because we're running around a store with no money, or to walk the streets, and then we're tempted to fight. And so they had just expressed to us, we need a safe place to go. So we started the Alley. Alley is a program that is offered on Friday nights for students. We just launched it. We had over 120 kids the first night. And we just really want to give them a safe place to go on a Friday night where they can be engaged with positive mentors that will love them and support them. So, and they also get to have a lot of fun. So ways that you can get involved, I have passed out over there on that table. It is brochures, and in my brochure, you can see all the programs we have to offer, but we also have a little tiny ripoff that if you are interested in knowing more about First Glance, I would love to give you a tour. I would love to have you come check us out, and you can rip that off and fill out the information, and I will contact you. And I think that's it. Other ways you can get involved is we're really super thankful. You guys have done work on our windows. You've painted our front of our building, which is awesome. And so we look forward to more partnerships. We always take groups. We love groups. We need groups. We service over 1,000 kids a year, and we are only a staff of 11, and only 3 of those are full-time. So we are always looking for groups to come in and help us keep our building safe and renovated and functioning. So thank you guys so much for having me.
We have questions.
Oh, you have questions for me? Let me hear them. I'm ready. Do I need to give you this?
No. I don't see any online.
I'm gonna turn it on.
Zach Harry. The work that you're doing with the kids is great, and I'm hearing coming from the background, the parents calling for help. Is there anything being done with your organization or within the community for parent training?
Yes, so we actually offer a program called the Connect, which is for families, for mothers and fathers, and we offer childcare during that. And so during that time, the moms and their significant others, sometimes fathers of the children will come, spouses will come and get training. It's 2 hours a week every Wednesday night. And so we bring in different professionals from the community that help them learn how to parent, help them make financially wise choices, budgeting, all of that kind of stuff. And we also work a lot with the United Way is on the Boulevard, and they do financial literacy and stuff like that. So we make a lot of our referrals outside of our building as well.
Very good. Steve?
Yeah, I have two questions. That's pretty exciting what you were sharing about the grade schools, 3 of them that you're gonna be working with. And you're looking to do that, would you be looking to start it up in the fall? Okay.
Yes, the fall.
Okay, so, in the comment that, the children aren't showing up for school unless they have the opportunity to show up to your after-school program.
Yep.
That says a lot about the, connection, the relationship and so on. Roughly, if, and I'm sure you guys have been looking at this, what might, the costs be associated with each of those schools, and how many volunteers are you going to need to help support and work with them? That's question number 1. Question number 2 comes off of something you had shared when we met in your office about other high school kids coming in and coming from all over the city, which is phenomenal. But what opportunity might you at first glance have in working in other areas like Firestone Park or North Hill or East Akron in reproducing something similar that those communities would own? So those are my 2 questions.
Yeah, the first is, so we're looking at right now hiring for the fall, because this will be a fall program. We're looking to hire 3 part-time staff, which will act as liaisons for the schools that we're reaching out to, and then a director that will oversee all of the programming and coordination from those 3. So we're looking at some federal dollars right now that help fund us in that way, and then we'll also be doing a campaign. So we're kind of trying, our goal is always to make it affordable for the families, because a lot of the families we work with don't qualify for some services like Title 20 that would pay for their after school. So our goal is always to make it affordable to them. And then it also helps us to give some buy-in, because we see that when they pay a little, they show up. They make sure that they're present. So that's our financial goals, is to, we're looking at raising quite a bit of dollars for the next fall to get those kids in the building. It's not too much when it comes to programming, because we're already offering that every day of the week, but we will need more transportation. We will need to buy another van in order to transport the children to our facility. So, so that is volunteer wise, we are all a lot of volunteers. So right now we need, we're looking at needing 10 more volunteers, weekly volunteers that would help. And we're looking, so right now we're 2 days a week with Launch Kenmore, and we're looking at moving to 5. So we need a lot of hands and a lot of people to love some little ones. Well, your second question was neighborhoods.
Yeah, about reproducing what you're
Yeah.
doing in other parts of the city, like I said, Firestone Park, East Akron,
Yep.
et cetera.
So we do send a lot of our students that we are connected with, we do connect them with other organizations that are running in the community, like East Akron, the Well. We connect them to the East Side Rec Night. Rec Night used to actually be a part of First Glance in the very early stages, and then we released it to the Well to run and through citizens. And so there's no sense in us recreating something in a community that's already sustainable and running. And so we resource out refer out a lot of those students to other communities. But we are looking at some things going in West Akron. West Akron is a pretty dry zone right now and not much for youth. And they're seeing a tremendous amount of youth violence over there. And so there are talks about West Akron and what that would look like, Copley, Hawkins area. But as of now, there's no plans. It's just in the early stages of talking, dreaming, looking at what's already over there. We also partner with South Street. We partner with Urban Vision in North Hill. And so some of those programs and nonprofits have stuff for youth, teenagers, and some of them don't. And so they refer, just like how we refer littles to them, they'll refer some teenagers to us.
Other questions?
My Kenmore friend in the back.
So yeah, I live in, well, now I work from home, so I work in Kenmore now too, so.
Yeah.
Anyways, so my question, so I go way back with First Glance, when Karen Freeman started Teen Moms.
Yep.
So, at Prentice Funeral Home, so that'll, with that. So is that what the Connect program is now that Stacy does?
Yes.
Or is, because I know Karen went off to do a jobs program. So.
Yeah, so Karen has started jobs and then she created her own nonprofit. And it kind of just went off onto its own and became more sustainable for them to create their own nonprofit than function under First Glance. And then we expanded the Connect program is like the former Teen Moms, Young Moms, but now our age demographic's bigger and we allow fathers to come in and be mentored as well. So it's actually been really encouraging the amount of fathers we see stepping up and wanting to be a part. Obviously, you guys know Kemp Boyd, the boy Stacy Boyd is his wife, and they do a really good job loving and supporting. Yeah, that's what I saw. Yep. Kemp does a really good job engaging fathers.
Other questions? Dan, do we have any online?
Nope.
I will be around, so if you want to grab me at the end, please feel free to do so. And we are so thankful.
Very good. And have you do one thing for me. We're doing our daily raffle or our weekly raffle. If you pick a winner for me.
Sorry, but if you don't win.
All right, tickets out. And it's 227-919. That's cool. All right. Good job, Jeff. All right, and before we have a three-way raffle, and it winner gets a third, the club gets a third, and he's looking for the joker for the progressive pot. Ace of Hearts, good card, but not the joker.
Back into the compassion.
Thank you. Steve?
All right, thank you, Jessica. And I just want to make a comment regarding First Glance. Today, essentially, what you heard, what you saw in the video, for all intents and purposes, really is just the tip of the iceberg. And I do mean that. In order for you to really appreciate and be blown away by how far and how deep the reach is, you would be well served to set up a time to go over and to see their facility. They run like a well-oiled machine, and I was blown away by those numbers. 10,000 kids, is that what you said? Wow. And they're doing a remarkable job. Yes, Jack.
Did the Hibernians leave any leprechauns back to help you?
Did the Hibernians leave any leprechauns back to help them? Hey, Jack. Jack, we're gonna find out on St. Patrick's Day. The weed people. But honestly, this work is an amazing work. And when we start hearing stories about kids not going to school unless there is some connection to an after-school program, that says a lot. And they're kind of like, a good way to describe them, you could call them Rotarian cousins. And what do I mean by that? Their secret sauce is love for kids. And there's one thing this club does exceptionally well. It's the love on children. So I would encourage you, if any of this tugs on your heartstrings, reach out to her. There are cards over there. You've got the flyers, but they're doing a remarkable job. And of course, our fellow Rotarian, Tina Boyes, and heading up the Community Development Corporation. Kenmore is happening. I mean, seriously, that's right. That's right, Julie. Kenmore is happening, and it's so good to see. And the heart is for the entire city. The Firestone Park would be happening, North Hill would be happening, West Akron would be happening, East Akron would be happening. We have an amazing city. We're blessed with a tremendous club of folks like yourself who are exceptionally compassionate, and we got a lot of love to share. So thank you for coming today. And that's pretty much it. And so I'm going to officially close this, but God bless you and have a great week.
Yeah.